Hello, Cryptowisers. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Milton, and I will be your captain for this episode. Huge crypto news dropped early this morning. Uniswap has put out a bunch of info on what version 3 is going to look like and when they're going to launch it. So we got to talk about that. That is huge news. And at the end of today's video, I'm going to share with you one of my crypto investing tricks. This is something I do every week. It's done really well for me so far. It's not rocket science, but it's a good little trick for every crypto investor, in my humble opinion. So, safety first, buckle up, because this is going to be another exciting episode of Cryptowise. All right, Cryptowisers, let's get into this. Before I talk about Uniswap and version 3, just wanted to throw this out here. This is an amazing piece of bullish Bitcoin news. So we all know that Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, put it on their balance sheet. That was huge, huge news. And at the time, they said that they would start accepting Bitcoin for Teslas. So that has started now. But what we didn't know at the time, which is amazing and so huge in my opinion, is this. Elon Musk tweeted out, Bitcoin paid to Tesla will be retained as Bitcoin, not converted into fiat currency. They have their 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, but now that's going to keep growing. Once someone pays Bitcoin for a Tesla, I don't know whoever would give up their Bitcoin to buy anything, but if they did, Tesla is now going to keep that Bitcoin added to their balance sheet. It's not like they're using Bitcoin to pay their bills. So you got to imagine that means they will be building up their Bitcoin position, and they sell a whole lot of Teslas, and they will be selling more and more in the coming years. So super bullish for Bitcoin. All right, let's get to the big news. Uniswap version 3. Uniswap team, they just dropped the info on us. This was late last night. This came out. So this is version 3. So those of you who don't know, so everything we've been doing this here, I'm sure a lot of you use Uniswap. You're using version 2. We always knew that version 3 was coming out, but they finally dropped all the info on us. So let's just go through this quickly. I will definitely do a big time full feature video on Uniswap version 3 closer to the mainnet launch. And now we know that that launch is happening May 5th. All right, so they say, today we are excited to present an overview of Uniswap version 3. We are targeting a layer 1 Ethereum mainnet launch on May 5th with a layer 2 deployment on Optimism set to follow shortly after that. So that in itself is huge news. They're going to have the mainnet Ether layer 1 version, but they're also going to be on a layer 2, and they're using Optimism. So huge news, obviously, too, for Optimism. Optimism is a public benefit corporation. They are a for-profit corporation intended to produce a public benefit, and they have been working on this layer 2 solution for Ethereum. And now we know that this is the layer 2 solution that Uniswap is going to be using for version 3. So that is huge news in itself, but they are also introducing these two key concepts, concentrated liquidity, and I'll explain what that is as best as I can. It's a little bit complicated. I'll do it more in a more longer feature video on this closer to mainnet launch, but I will explain it quickly to you today as well. And multiple fee tiers. So right now, you do a swap on Uniswap, every swap is 0.3 fees. So if you are someone who puts liquidity into a pool like I am, anytime someone does a swap, they pay 0.3 in fees. That gets distributed to all us liquidity providers. So in version 3, there's going to be tiers. There's going to be 0.05, the existing 0.3, and a 1%. So here's the information on that right here. As you can see, 0.05, 0.3, and 1%. This is going to mean that it depends on how much risk is involved in the pair. So if it's a very low risk, something like stable coins, you're only going to have to pay 0.05. If it's a more exotic pair that's hard to find elsewhere, you'll probably be paying up to 1%. But that is a huge improvement in my opinion, and is going to mean much lower transaction fees for stablecoin swaps, swapping the bigger tokens like right now, that will stay at the same price, but the smaller, more exotic tokens will be more expensive to swap. They also announced some more advanced Oracle solutions here. This is also a big deal. So as you know, when they put out version 2 of Uniswap, there were clones right away. SushiSwap being the most famous, the one that has lasted the longest and done the best. But they weren't the only ones. There have been tons of clones. But now what they're doing, they're going to put out version 3 and the code will be locked for 2 years so that no one can rip it off. After 2 years, it becomes open source. So it's a good hybrid, right? Because people in crypto, they want crypto to be for the public good, the decentralized future. And so they love open source code so people can use it, work on it, improve it. But Uniswap, we saw with Uniswap, the future of Uniswap cannot exist if people are just ripping them off right away and creating alternatives. So I think this is a great middle ground where eventually the community will get the benefit of the open code, but Uniswap will be able to establish themselves first before anyone can do it. Okay, so let's talk about concentrated liquidity. This is one of the biggest changes. So for me, the biggest thing about this is capital efficiency. Okay, so right now you put liquidity into Uniswap. That liquidity is good for any price range. So now with this concentrated liquidity, you're going to be able to put parameters on the liquidity you provide. So the example that they talk about is a stable coin pair, and this is one that makes it kind of easiest to understand. So stable coins, they don't move in price really. Okay, so they go from basically maybe 99 cents and $1.01. Because they stay in this range, you're getting a lot of inefficiency with the capital to say that it can be traded on any price range from 0 to infinity. So this way you'll be able to say, I'm going to give liquidity to the DAI USD pool, but only for the price range of 99 cents and $1.01. That means it's concentrating that liquidity in that price range, and therefore you will get much more bang for your buck in terms of the fees paid out to you. So let's talk through this in a bit more detail. Capital efficiency. By concentrating their liquidity, LPs can provide the same liquidity depth as version 2 with specified price ranges while putting far less capital at risk. So the capital saved can be held externally, invested in different assets. It can be deposited elsewhere in DeFi, or it can be used to increase exposure within the specified price range to earn more trading fees. And they illustrate this here. So Alice and Bob both want to provide liquidity in an ETH DAI pool on Uniswap version 3. They each have 1 million. Current price for ETH is 1,500 DAI. So Alice decides to deploy her capital across the entire price range. So this is exactly what you're doing in Uniswap version 2 automatically. Your price range is 0 to infinity. So she would deposit 500,000 DAI and 333.33 ETH. So that equals 1 million. Bob, instead, he creates a concentrated position, depositing only within the price range from 1,000 to 2,250. So he's only providing liquidity for this price range. So he only deposits 91,751 DAI and 61.17 ETH, worth a total amount of only 183,500. So while Alice has put down 5.44 times as much capital as Bob, they actually earn the same amount of fees as long as ETH and DAI price stays within that range. So Bob's custom position also acts as a stop loss. So both Alice and Bob's liquidity will be entirely denominated in ETH if the price of ETH falls to 0. So whatever the value of the lower token is, if it's outside of that price range, all your liquidity will end up in that token. And that's the truth for how it works now in version 2. We just don't really talk about it, but that's what we're talking about in terms of impermanent loss. Now, the key here is that Bob has put much less capital, so his downside exposure is a lot less for the same potential fee rewards. And then on the flip side of that, you can also now do limit orders, essentially. You can put a range order in. Right now on Uniswap, if you want to swap something, you got to do it basically based on what the price is right now. Version 3, you will be able to put a price range. So that's huge. Anyway, a lot of stuff to go through. We will be talking about this over the coming weeks and months because obviously Uniswap is, if not the most important, one of the most important platforms in crypto. And I think it's worth us talking about the UNI token for a sec here. We don't talk a lot about it on the channel because it's one of the biggest market caps in crypto. And we know you Cryptowisers, you love talking about the hidden gem altcoins. But it is so important to remember when you're searching for those hidden gem altcoins, don't have your whole portfolio in tiny little market cap altcoins. Do not miss out on the blue chip projects just because you're always looking for the next big thing. So the last time I talked about Uni on this channel, I think was all the way back, my second video, 6 must-have crypto coins, and I meant it. The only coin on that list that I have taken off my list, but still probably belongs there because I know a lot of people still believe in it, is the CRO coin. I moved all my CRO into Binance. I had in the video Binance and CRO together because at the time I was using both. I think one or the other. Now I am definitely more of a Binance guy, but that is a tangent to say on that list was also Uni. Uni had just come out maybe a month before. I put it as a must-own coin, and I still believe that more than ever probably. So I got my airdrop of Uni when everyone else did in September or whenever that was. Let's look at the chart of Uni here because this was the airdrop right here. And then we saw it go down substantially. I remember thinking, maybe I should have sold it. But no, I did not sell any of it. And that hurt when it went down to 214 and it was like, oh, maybe I should have sold. But I believe in Uniswap so much. I know there are so many other projects out there and I believe in a lot of them and I invest in a lot of them. As you know, I invest in a lot of DEX projects. And I'm going to be investing in more of them coming up as I find new gems. I think there's room for a lot of decentralized exchanges, but Uni is the king and I believe they will remain the king for a long time. So anyway, I got my airdrop and around the same time they were doing farming on Uni. So I farmed more Uni on top of my airdrop. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of these really genius people who had like multiple wallets using Uniswap. I only used one wallet with it, so I only got one airdrop. But anyway, now look at this pump since, okay? Went from about $3 all the way up and now it's sitting at $30. But classic buy the rumor, sell the news is happening, guys. Down 10% in the last 24 hours. I'm hugely bullish on Uni. I know a lot of people are nitpicking all these details that came out about version 3. The thing about a rumor is it can be anything, right? Everyone is imagining the best of all worlds. Then they put out this information and they're like, but they're not talking about this. They don't have that. I didn't know it was coming, but I am definitely happy with what they announced. And I think it's only a matter of time that the market catches up with how great version 3 is going to be, especially now that people can't just fork it and create clones of version 3. It's going to be the only version 3 out there. We're not going to see any sushi swaps of the world just taking Uniswap version 3 and making it their own. So I love this as a discount for Uni. I'm pretty happy with my bag, but you know what? I might buy a little bit more, to be honest. I think this has a lot of room to grow. And this is a huge coin. We're talking $15 billion market cap. So caveat, always, as long as the whole market stays strong. If Bitcoin collapse, all of these are collapsing. I don't care who you are, ETH, DOT, whatever, you're all collapsing if Bitcoin collapses and we go into a bear market. Such is life. But as long as the market stays strong, I think Uni, to me, it's already number 8. As ETH moves up, as DOT moves up, as Binance moves up, I think Uniswap will be 5 to 10. I think it will remain in the 5 to 10 mark. I could see it jumping up to number 5-ish. I could see it staying in top 10. I don't see it going below top 10 ever. And as the whole market moves up, I think Uni's going to move up and I think it could even outpace the market. I love me Uni as a must-own token. So very exciting about this version 3 news. And as I said, we'll talk a lot more about it as the mainnet approaches. So don't worry if you didn't understand all of this about the concentrated liquidity and stuff. I will be walking you through that before the mainnet launches and letting you know what I'm going to do in terms of allocating my capital. Before I share with you one of my little crypto investing tips, would you do me a favor? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, make sure you hit that little bell so you get notified when we publish a new video. And we are still suspended on Twitter, so make sure you join us on Telegram. We got a new channel there, Cryptowise channel on Telegram. The link is in the description of this video. And if you're interested in an insider newsletter from Cryptowise, then hop on our website, cryptowise.com. Throw your name on here, throw your email. That lets us know that you would be interested in an insider newsletter from Cryptowise. And once we have enough interest, we will launch that for you guys. All right, guys, moving along. I wanted to share this trick with you. This is an easy crypto investing trick, but it means discipline and routine. And I thought this would be a good day to share it with you because of this dip that we're getting in Uniswap. Blue chip dips. That's kind of what we're talking about here. I call it bargain bin shopping. Okay, you know, you get the flyer from your local supermarket or whatever, wherever you guys shop, you get a flyer and it gives you the deals of the week. This is how I buy my blue chippers. Okay, I come on here, CoinMarketCap. I like to go into categories first just to kind of organize things. I know what I like. If we go into categories here, you can pick whichever categories you love. So for instance, for me, an easy one is this one here, Polkadot ecosystem. All right, we all know Milty loves his Polkadot. So every week, yes, I do this every week. Come here, go on the 7-day average. I look what's popped. I ignore it. I go, what's gone down? Okay. And I look for blue chip discounts. And I'm not talking about the smaller altcoins like Exceed Me on sale, 23%. But over the last month, it's kind of been pumping. So even though it's on sale right now in the last week, you also want to make sure it's not coming off of a huge pump, because everything off of a huge pump is going to have a small dip. That's not really a sale. Okay, so you're not looking for a dip off of a huge pump. You're looking for the bargain bin sale. What's on sale this week? So I have my list of my favorite projects. And, you know, for instance, Exceed Me might be on yours. It's not mine. I like it as an alt. It's not a fave. This little tip for you, this is how you accumulate bags of your favorites. So here's one. My first one, obviously, you all know I love Kylan. So I come here and go, okay, it's down 20% this week. Bargain bin shopping. And I always do the weekly because, as you know, crypto, volatile, goes up and down. Don't look at the hourly. Don't look at the 24-hour. I look for 20% or more dip in a week. So I would click on Kylan here. I would look at the chart. This is the all-time chart. As we know, it's a brand new project. We know that it peaked up at around 210, maybe 215-ish. And although this, yes, was a big pump because it's a new coin, it's not like it's been pumping, and we're just getting a small little dip. This is a pretty substantial dip from the all-time high, which for me is actually just the first peak in what I think is going to be a bullish upward trending chart. So I would look at this and think, yeah, pretty good deal. And I might buy a little bit up. And some weeks are better than others. So let's keep going. So Kyle, about 20% down. Dia, 17% down. Bridge Mutual, which had a pump and is back down under $3. Litten Tree, which we all know that we like. So this is a good one to look at. It's been down about 15% this week. If we look at the 3-month chart, we saw that it had its initial pump. It found its all-time high, which was at around 14. Now it's come down. It's consolidating in this area, but you're getting a good discount from over $12 down to about $9. So if you believe that this consolidation area is kind of where it's sitting before the next pump up, much better to buy it at the 9 than the 12. So anyway, this is one of my techniques. Some weeks there are no good deals. Other weeks I buy up 3 to 4 of my favorite projects and just put a little bit more in my bag. Obviously, Polkadot's not the only category. You can go DeFi, NFTs, any of the other chains. You got Solana here, BSC, of course. Here's the NFTs and collectibles. So I like to do it in categories. It just kind of organizes it good for me. But however you want to do it, the key is consistency. And the key is that this is for your bags that you want to build over the long term. I'm not talking about the quick trades or a new altcoin that you buy a bag of. Love doing that as well. But I have coins that I want to build positions in over the long run, and I love buying them when it's on sale. So for me, I think of it as bargain bin essential buying. It's like when you go to a grocery store, you know you got to buy soap or toilet paper or whatever it is. I always love stocking up on that stuff when it's cheaper because you know you got to buy it. Same with me. Certain projects like Kylan, I know I want to build a big bag of. I'm going to be buying on those dips. Same thing with Uni. Down 10%. Love to see that. Beautiful. Buy it up. So easy to say to buy the dip. Better to have a strategy like this where you consistently every week see, oh, what's on sale this week? Anyway, that's a little Milty investing trick. Use it or don't. Obviously, we all need to have our own systems. So do what works for you. But that's one that I do every week, and it has really helped build up substantial positions in coins that I love. All right, guys, I know we didn't talk altcoins, any hidden gems on today's video. Don't worry. We're doing a lot of research, Marvin and I. We're going to be doing a lot of videos coming up over the next couple of weeks on the altcoins we're looking at, the ones we're buying. We got ones that have been around for a while, and I know we got some new ones that we're looking at as well. So stay tuned for those videos, but thanks for watching today. As always, we very much appreciate the support. Until next time, my name's Milton, saying over and out.